Hi everybody, so we're going to start this practice today from a standing position and we'll finish up on the floor. We've only got half an hour, so during that half an hour we're just going to create a little bit of relief maybe for the hips, the lower back and maybe the shoulders and the neck. Okay, so let's just start with our feet about hip width apart and bend your knees a little bit. And front of the hips here, push the front of your hips forward. So as you're pushing the front of your hips forward, I don't want you leaning back like that. I want you just to keep pushing the front of the hips forward so that area is getting a little bit of a stretch because these are the muscles that get tight while you're sitting all day. And I also want you to really feel your toes pressing into your mat. In this position, I'm going to get you to press your toes and feel like you're trying to stretch your mat or whatever you're standing on. Just feel like you're trying to stretch the space between your feet. And tilt your weight forward, and what you'll notice is that your toes, they automatically grip. And that's a good sign because it's disconnecting with that, otherwise you'd fall over. So squeeze your heels together, so you're stretching the mat apart, but it's like you're squeezing your heels together. And your legs will feel really strong, so you can my thighs are working now, I can feel that, okay? Relax your shoulders and just follow me more or less. If you can't touch your toes, don't take your fingers all the way to the floor if that's what I'm doing. Just do what you can, that's all. So when you're ready, I'm going to roll the shoulders in, bringing the arms up without letting the bottom stick out. Reach up if you can for the ceiling, and then palms together. Fingers to the floor, bending the knees, arms wide. Don't let the bum stick out. Same position as before. Bring the arms down. And back, shoulders in, chest forward, and forward. 2 of these. And bring it all in. Do a few more like that. Okay, so shoulders in, arms up. No need to look up if your neck is sore. Palms together, fingers to ground, wide. Shoulders in, chest forward. 2 of these. And all the way in. Getting the idea? Follow me for the next couple. Change it up a little bit. Over to your right side, otherwise just follow me, doesn't really matter. Like you're lengthening a piece of string. Take your right foot out to the side, push your bottom forward, reach up to the ceiling with your left fingertips to the floor with your right hand. See all my weight's in my left foot and belly button forward, look up if you can. Don't forget to breathe. And bringing your right arm up, taking your foot back over to the opposite side. Again, it's like a checking out the length of a piece of string. Left toe tip out to the side. reach up to the ceiling with the right fingertips, left fingertips to the floor, cup if you can. Belly button forward. And bring the left arm up. Feet together. And taking the hands down. And change it up a little bit. Over to the right side again. All my weight is on the left foot. This time I'm taking my right foot forward. Push your right buttock bone forward. And then reach into the corner with your left hand. So that bum bone pushes forward, this right bottom bone. Reach into the left fingertips. Check this tummy is breathing and it's not squeezing really tight. And you leave that foot on the floor, or maybe you lift it ever so slightly. If you're a little bit more accomplished and you've got the right balance, we've got the balance going on today, you can bring your right foot off the floor if you want to. Hold it there. Check your tummy is breathing. And then we're going to take the right foot over to the left side. So we're sinking into the right foot, and we're going to imagine that we're going to pick something up off the floor. And then we're going to come up, cross our arms, length between the fingers. And we're going to take the left arm over the right. So this is an eagle pose. And if that one's really hard, you do that one instead. Okay? Shoulders down, squish your inner elbows together. Now you can just keep this right foot on the floor, or maybe you can take it off the floor, or maybe you can try the full pose. So this is an easier version of the full pose, and the full pose looks a bit like that. And then maybe you come down if you can. Tricky, 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 tricky. Let's try second size. And then bring the arms up, call this the karate kid. You could pop the foot on the floor when you're doing that one. And take it down. 1. And 2. That's it. Right string lengthening, that's it. Left toe tip goes out, left bottom pushes forward, reach into that corner over there. That's it. Now you just do something little like this, you're just playing around with that balance. Otherwise, if you're a bit more accomplished, if you've got great balance, you can lift the leg off the floor. Now you're trying to find a little spot to focus on. So in yoga we call this the drishti point. Keeping your eyes nice and still means you're relaxed. Or you're convincing yourself that you're relaxed anyway. And let's take the left foot over to the right side. We're going to sink into the left foot. I'm going to take the right fingertips over to the opposite side. Maybe we're going to imagine that we're picking a speck of dust up off the floor. And then we come up. Eagle pose, possibly. That's with the right elbow on top. So shoulders down, squeeze your inner elbows together if you can. So this toe tip is fine here, but you could try this, or you could follow me into the full pose if you feel like you could do that one. It looks a little bit like that. And if that all comes together, maybe come down a little bit. And are you ready for the karate kick? That's my easy version. That's the harder version. Very good. And taking down. And this time, push forward. Round out your back a little bit. Take it back again. And bring your fingers up towards the ceiling. Look up if you want to. And then look forward. Stay on flat feet or come up onto the balls of the feet. That didn't work for me very often today. And then lower your heels, roll your shoulders all the way in. So stretching into your fingers and squeeze your hands into a fist. Again, if you can, you come up onto the balls of your feet. Now maybe you're going to bend a tiny bit. Be careful for your knees. You're going to squeeze your inner ankles together. Imagine you're squeezing pencils behind your knees. Possibly you can come down a little bit further. And then lower the heels. Hips forward the way I showed you before. Take the arms back and push into the heels of your hands. Really broaden your palms. And play around with that one a little bit to stretch out your hands. You can either stay on flat feet, and you come onto the balls of your feet. Possibly you bend a little bit. Maybe you come down further if you can. And coming up. Hips forward. Shoulders in. Bringing your arms all the way up. And fingers to the floor. Again. And down. And we take our left leg back. 1 and 2. We're going to do 3 of these. And 3. Now our weight's on our back foot. We're going to leave the right toe tip here. Push the front of the hips forward. Relax the shoulders. Leave that toe tip on the floor or do a little lift. Otherwise you can lift higher. So I just want you to try and relax your belly. Relax your face. Keep your eyes focused on one thing. You're going to get lovely and warm. That's a good sign that your blood is flowing. You can wiggle your ankle a little bit. If you need to hold on to a chair, hold on to a chair, or just lower your leg a little bit. Do what's doable. And then from here, pop your right foot down. Lean into that front foot. Bring your ribs in. And if it's possible for you, lift your left leg off the floor. Left leg off the floor. Give it a wiggle like I am. And if possible, thigh to the chest. And foot to the floor. Let's try the second side. One, 2, and 3. We're going to balance on our right foot, maybe. But I'm pushing the front of my hips forward. Okay? I'm not leaning back. Alright, you can leave that toe on the floor or just lift it a little bit. Otherwise you can lift it higher. Just try and be relaxed in your face, your neck, your throat. Keep your fingers a wiggle. Let your tummy breathe. Keep your eyes nice and soft and focused on one spot. And then when you're ready, take that left foot to the floor. Lean into your left foot. Lift the right leg off the mat if you can. And if possible, doing the Karate Kid again, thigh to the chest if possible. Lovely. Take your arms back. Roll your shoulders in. Try this one with me. I'll show you easy and harder versions. So what we're going to do is bring our palms to our calves. Okay? So with this one, I want you to, instead of sticking your bum up that way, feel like trying to push your bottom bones, so they're the bones that you sit on, towards the front of your mat, but your armpits are pushing to the back of the mat. You see, I'm not looking like that. I'm just looking down slightly above my toes, between my toes. I'm looking just slightly above my toes. Don't know what I was trying to say there. Now if you feel like you could do a harder version, don't overdo it, we take the arms back, cross over at the wrists, bring the hands back through and grab the shins. So my right shin is grabbing, my right hand is grabbing my left shin, and my left hand is grabbing my right shin. Same thing, push the bottom bones towards the front of your mat, armpits to the back of the mat. And then relax. Just let your shoulders soften. Let's just come up and down a couple of times. So front of the hips forward, bringing the arms back, and fingers to the mat. And one more. And let's take it back into a cat pose. Okay, so spread your fingers. What I get you to do is press all your fingers down into the mat, but not your thumbs. So 8 fingers, but don't worry about your thumbs at the moment. Try and lift your palms if you can. And then we're going to exaggerate by taking it over to the little finger, the ring finger, the middle finger and the index finger, and then we'll just do that again. All right, so good to give your hands a stretch if you're doing a lot of typing. Okay, now the other thing we're going to do today is stretch our thumbs. Okay, so I want you to, if you can, take your thumbs to the outer edges of your mat, and can you see that it's like we're going to try and make the thumbs and the index fingers do the splits. All right, so what I'm going to do is like I'm being thumbprinted. So you pull your thumbs to the outer edges of the mat and try and push that little fleshy bit down. Okay, and you can feel the thumb pad getting a really good stretch. Okay, so something else you can do, to stretch out your thumbs is if you're sitting watching something in the evening, you just get in there and give it a really good massage. Okay, but you want to protect your hands. So let's take our hands back to the mat. Press the thumb pad down, the thumb pad on each hand, and roll your inner elbows forward, round out your back a little bit. So some people call this pose eye of the needle. All right, so what we're going to do is take our left arm all the way under. If it's possible, you take your head to the floor. If that's too hard, keep your head off the floor, or maybe you've got a block or something you can use. But what I want you to see, what I'm doing here, I'm pressing that right hand down. Otherwise, it's this, which we don't want. So we press the right hand down, and then we feel like we're trying to push or pull the opposite shoulder to the left shoulder, back into the opposite direction. Can't find my words this afternoon, I'm sorry. Now, from here, you might lengthen into the right fingertips if you wanted to. But this is me collapsing into the shoulder. I'm not doing that. I want to feel like I'm trying to pull that left shoulder to the opposite side. Now, if you want to go a little bit further than that, maybe you bring your hands into a prayer position. This should feel like a nice stretch for your upper back. With any luck. And then let's come back up into the cat pose. Can we do that on the second side, all right? So you round out your back, little breath in, and bring your right arm all the way to the other side. So head on the floor if possible, chin in, and you're pressing your left palm down firmly into the ground or the mat. And then you imagine you're going to pull your right shoulder back to the opposite side. All right, now don't hold your breath, you don't need to over breathe, just keep it all very natural. Natural breathing is fine. Now if you feel like you could add on, you lengthen into your left fingertips. And then maybe you can bring your hands into a prayer position. And relax, come back up into cat pose, okay? So from here, just take your right leg back and your left arm forward. Now, ribs are in for this one, and you're looking forward. Okay, looking forward. And then take that left hand down. We're going to do 5 of these. It's nice to loosen up the hips. So, knee to the shoulder. This is optional, out to the side and back. So that's 1 and 2, 3, 4 and 5. Okay, now we're going to take that right foot to the bottom of our mat. Anchor our left palm into the top of the mat and stretch the right arm forward. So that should give you a really nice side stretch. And then take the right hand down. Let's try the other side. Okay, so be careful for your hands. Pubic bone forward. We're taking the left leg back and the right arm forward, so round out the back a little bit if you can. Look forward, not this. I'm going to do 5 of that little exercise which will help to loosen up your hips, but do what you can. So knee to the shoulder, if possible out to the side and then back. That's 1 and 2 and 3. 4 and 5. Take your left foot to the bottom of your mat, right palm forward, and then lengthen into your left fingertips. So you want to feel this as a really nice stretch all the way down the left side. And bring your left hand down. Okay, we're going to come down to the floor and I'm going to show you a way to get there that's quite strong. If you don't fancy it, you just lie on your tummy now, okay? But you'll have that little side camera and you can see what my back is doing, all right? So I am not doing something like this, for example. I'm not doing that. So work towards it, but the form is the most important thing. So this is a plank. But you can also do your plank as a cat, all right? So that's an easy version, otherwise you come into plank. Look forward, grab your mat. Remember we worked on protecting our hands before, inner elbows forward, shoulders over your wrists as you breathe in and elbows in. And you come down, a nice straight spine to the mat, okay? Roll your shoulders in, push your navel down into the mat and bring your elbows forward if you can. Now squeeze your hands into fists and just feel like you're pulling your elbows to your hips and then lift your chest and look forward. And I want you just to visualise that your pubic bone is moving up towards the top of the mat. So you're not overarching your back. And then relax. So you're going to do a little exercise and it's probably a lot stronger than most people imagine that would be, because we're all very tight in our pecs, but we don't really know that we're tight in the pecs until we stretch them, okay? So if you find it really hard to lie down on your tummy like this, you can actually do the variation of just standing up and you do it on the wall. But what I'm going to do is take my left knee out to the left side, try pushing your tailbone down a little bit, press the left hand into the mat, close to the left side of my chest, and your right arm comes out to the side. So I would say, if that's midnight and that's 3 o'clock, that's somewhere in the middle. Okay, so see how my hand is nice and broad, bend the elbow, and then I'm going to look that way. But what I want you to do is you push your pec down, so the pec is here, front of the chest, push the pec down, and then with your left hand, it's like you're trying to lift your pec. So what I'm doing, I'm not just stretching, I'm creating resistance. I'm pushing that pec down, and at the same time, I'm trying to lift my pec. And it's really strong. If you spend a lot of time on a computer or driving, those muscles are tight. Now, I don't want to keep that microphone, but if you're a little bit more flexible and you want to add on, you push the pec down, you take your left toe over to the opposite side. Relax. Back to the first position. It feels nice now. So, other side. So I'm going to take my right knee out, push the tailbone down. My right hand is here next to my chest. Left arm, so again, midnight, 3, somewhere in the middle. Spread the fingers but bend the elbows. Arms not straight like that, you're bending it. Push the pec down. Look at the right hand. And sometimes that's enough. It's like I'm grabbing the floor, okay? And I use my right hand as if to lift my chest, but I'm pushing my pec down into the mat. And this is stronger for me because this is my mouse hand. I swapped. I'm not left-handed, I'm right-handed, but I swapped because of shoulder problems. The mouse isn't the best invention, by the way, because anything that creates this asymmetry is really hard on the body. Now, if you're a little bit more flexible, you can take your right toe tip behind you. And come back. Oh, that feels a lot nicer. So, we're just going to do one more exercise on the floor. And again, you can do this one standing up. Okay. So this is what we call Bakasana, half frog pose actually. So it's Ardha Bakasana. Nice to, again, stretch out the front of the hips. So let's just bring left forearm, actually no, let's swap it over because I usually start with this side. So right forearm aligns to the top of the mat, left arm down by the left side. We're going to push the tailbone down a little bit, so towards the mat, and bring the left heel to the left bottom. And I just want you to feel like you're trying to press your left thigh down towards your mat. You'll feel these muscles starting to work. So just press it down and then relax And then from here, if it's possible, you hold on to your foot, but please don't hold on to your foot if it's too strong. Just go with that one again, because that's still doing something. But if you can hold on to your foot, I want you to imagine that you're having a bit of an arm wrestle with yourself. So you feel like you're going to get your foot back to the floor, but you're trying to pull it back towards your bottom. And then relax. You do it again, little push, and relax. Now, just straighten that leg, and if you give your hips a wiggle, you should feel a difference between the front of the left hip and the front of the right hip, and your leg will be a bit longer on the left side. So let's try the other side. So let's have right arm down. We're going to have our left forearm lining with the top of the mat. Push the tailbone down and just bring the right heel towards the bum. But we're pushing this thigh down. So as we're pushing this thigh down, I can feel my bum muscle gets really strong. This hamstring switches on as well. So just relax. Feel like you're trying to press the thigh down. And then relax the thigh, give it a wiggle. So you can repeat that one because it will help to release the front of the hip. You don't always need to do a deep stretch to do something. But if it's possible for you to hold on to your foot, hold on to your foot, but we'll do it with resistance, okay? So what that means is it's like an arm wrestle. It's like I'm pushing my foot back to the floor. I'm trying to bring my foot to the bottom at the same time. And then relax and try again. And relax. And give it a little bit of a wiggle. So I want you to try and use your muscles to come up if you can. The same way that we ended up coming down here. So we're going to squeeze the elbows in, and you'll see this in the side camera. Instead of lifting this way, I want you to push bottom bones towards the heels of your hands, and then it's more like a worm. So half push up. Come into a cat pose, and let's just take our knees really wide. We're going to try and get our bum to our heels, look forward, and make our arms really, really, really long. All right, so creep our fingertips to the top of the mat. Bring the chin in towards the throat. And then imagine that you're trying to get the back of your body, that's your spine, in this instance, towards the ceiling. So spine to the ceiling, chin to the throat. Front ribs are in, not flaring. And your tummy is still breathing. And I don't know if you can see in that camera, but my shoulders and my earlobes are connecting. And then you're going to come up. And we're going to change position. You can follow me, but if it doesn't feel comfy to do it the way I'm doing it, just come into a sitting position. I'm going to do it by crossing my ankles and coming into it this way. And we're actually going to lie down for the last few minutes. Just do a couple of things on the floor that are going to help to release the hips, all right? So we haven't got too much longer for this class, but let's come into this position. This is a position called constructive rest, all right? And what I'm going to do is just lift my pubic bone up that way so I feel my spine pressing into the mat a little bit and bring my chin in. And with my chin in, so it looks like I've got a few chins there now, you're pressing the middle of the back of your head into the mat. Grip with your left foot, take your right leg straight. Okay? And we're just going to do a few little one-legged bicycles. Really simple. And then I'm going to get you to take that back, opposite direction. And then just bring your right leg up, bend the right leg and feel as if you can get your heel to your left ear. And we're going to just bring the left foot off the floor, push the ankle into the thigh. All right, so it's a resistance exercise. So resistance exercises are much more useful than just normal stretches. So in other words, it's like you're trying to get your foot back to the floor, but you're trying to bring your thigh to the chest. And I just want you to give that bit of a wiggly thing. So no hands. And relax. And if you straighten your right leg and straighten your left leg, you're going to feel there's a difference on the right side. So that's how those things work. All right, so let's go back into constructive rest. We're lifting the pubic bone, chin is in, And this time I'm gripping the mat with my right foot and taking my left leg straight. And I'm going to do these one-legged bicycles. And then we're going to take it back in the opposite direction. And then I'm going to get you to bring your leg up, bend it. And you see how I'm pushing into the ball of my foot? And I want you to imagine you're going to get your left heel to your right ear. Now, comparatively, I'm quite flexible in my hips, okay? But if I was really flexible in my hips, if I had no tension in my hips, this heel would be here and my knee would be down there. And you can see it's the other way around, all right? So that's where most of us are at. Yours are probably worse than mine. So be careful because you don't want to hurt your knee, all right? That's the upshot of stiff hips. So we're going to bring the right foot off the mat and we push, if possible, the ankle into the thigh and we resist back. Don't hold your breath while you're doing that. I know it feels like you're having a little bit of a fight with yourself, but just a little bit of push, a little bit of pull, and even when you're doing this little wiggly thing, you're creating that resistance. So you get strong and flexible, because there's not much point in one without the other. And relax. Let's just check. Oh, useful. They're the same length. All right. So again, pubic bone to chin, chin in, and if it's more comfortable, bring one knee at a time, this time towards your armpits. And I'll get you to bring your arms in between your thighs, and you're going to feel like you're trying to push your legs wide, but you're trying to push your knees together at the same time. Again, it's resistance. And then relax. Take your palms to the outer knees. Push your outer knees into your palms, palms into outer knees, and then relax. And then bring your knees a little bit closer towards your armpits and push the shins into the palms and the palms into the shins. And then relax. Pop your arms down by the side and give your hips a little bit of a wiggle from left to right. And you can bring your feet back into this constructive rest position. And if you've got time, just hang out here for another 2 or 3 minutes and just allow your spine, your face, your neck and your throat to completely relax and just be aware of the sensation in your body, maybe as a result of the practice. Just see if you can maintain that focus for another minute or so. And thanks for doing this practice with me, and I hope you feel better. And when you come up, when you're ready to come up, the way I would come up is to roll gently onto my right side. And there's no hurry for you to do that. But nice.